you really are part of Quentin's film visual language that he's so known for. When I see the Hawaiian shirt on Tim Roth, and I had my experience with Hawaiian shirt on Brad and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and we see the Quentin loves a leather jacket and a t-shirt and the black and white motif. This is the language that you created together. Obviously, I think we have to talk about Reservoir Dogs, his first film. And how did you meet Quentin? How did that happen?
I read the script and it was fascinating. I mean, it was like nothing I had ever read. Like I had a career before, Reservoir Dogs. I
For
worked
sure.
my way up from seamstress, but I had never read anything like this. And I said, I'll do it. I want to do it. And he said, I don't have any money. And I said, I don't care. For Reservoir Dogs, my budget was $10,000. Only Harvey Keitel and briefly the small amount of time Quentin was in the film. Nobody else was wearing a suit. We couldn't afford it. And I found this cache of these Black Beetle jackets at American Rag. And I thought, this could go on the younger guys, like on the Tim Roth and the Steve Buscemi. This is the perfect jacket. It's not a suit, but it's the great jacket. And I thought, oh, well, I'm just going to put them with black jeans. Nobody will know the difference. And Quentin was like, what? And I said, trust me. Nobody's going to know the difference. These black jeans, the cut of a black Levi's with this jacket, it's going to make a great silhouette. It's going to be fabulous. Trust me. And he even said that at the Costume Designers Guild thing. He said, and I trusted her and she was right.
I dare say that I think, Betsy, that was ingenious because, sometimes when we have these challenges, budgetary or time or location, the best results come out of it. When we cut to Pulp Fiction and they're wearing the black suits, what was your budget like then?
$36,000.
Wow, it's so little.
I remember sitting with Quentin at Barney's Beanery. I said to him, I really think that Vincent and Jules are Reservoir Dogs. And he thought about it. He goes, I like that. I like that. I said, yes. There's a Vic Vega, his brother, in Reservoir Dogs, and there's a Vincent Vega in Pulp Fiction. They're brothers. Vincent is kind of a slob. Quentin said, yes, definitely, and with Vincent, I could do a linen suit so that he always kind of was a mess. And with Jules, I wanted a very slim fitting, narrow lapelled, which was not that popular in this time. But I went downtown and I found this Perry Ellis suit that I could get, it's all discount. The collars of the shirts are very important to me. In Reservoir Dogs, each one of those guys had a different shirt with a different collar and a different width of tie in proportion to the width of their chest. In Pulp Fiction, I did that again. And so Jules had a very narrow collared shirt because he's the preacher.
Right.
There's a bit of a cowboy theme. They're all gunslingers. They're all gunfighters. We all used to shop at King's Western Wear. Right. Oh my God, we all shopped there. That's where I got the idea for the bolo tie. I thought, well, here's Vincent thinking he's cool. He's got his bolo tie on. He's a cowboy. She says to him, how are you doing, cowboy? Or she refers to him as a cowboy. And then he refers back to her as a cowgirl. So these are all messages to me. These are all secrets to me.
Let's talk a little bit about Mia, everything, the way that you tailored that shirt. I noticed that the cufflink felt like the bolo tie, the little black and white motif, and how when they're sitting there on the date, there's just this beautiful symmetry of design.
I've also mentioned that I thought that Mia was a Reservoir Dog, but she couldn't express that because she was married to the boss. She had to be chic, glamorous, eye candy. But that on her date with Vincent, that she wanted to show him that she was one of the guys. And so I said I wanted her to wear the black and white. And there was a crushed velvet peacoat, Agnes being that we didn't really get to see, but that sort of topped it off, which was very cool. So she's very tall, Uma. All the pants were not long enough for her. And I said, oh, what the heck? Let's just cut them off. And then the shirt had to give her some shape and everything was oversized because, I wanted it to say money. I'm one of you, but I'm a bad girl. And then again, the little bandeau underneath, again, was like a bandana. So it was another cowboy reference.
So here we have Vincent wearing his bolo ties, black suit, and that wonderful trench coat. And then we have Mia and him when they come back. Look at that. That's just beautiful. It says so much. It looks so great.
I love that you noticed the coat, because I knew that I wanted her dancing around in that big coat. And so that I had to get that coat on him in order to later get it on her. And I had to have him have that coat, and he walks in the door with the coat over his arm, which is good.
Here I do have the peacoat. So that was Agnes B. In the 90s, it was the place that was status in a very cool girl way, not in an obvious way.
When we did Reservoir Dogs, Harvey Keitel said, I am wearing an Agnes B suit. My black suit will be from Agnes B. And I was like, okay, Harvey. I called them up. I'm very busy calling people all the time. And we struck up not a friendship by any means, but a collab. She knew me and I knew her. When we did Pulp, I went over there and I found that jacket with the leather collar for John to wear.
Yeah.
I got that from her. I got the peacoat from her. One of the things that he and I watched when we were looking at stuff for Reservoir Dogs was some anime cartoons, and one of them was of Speed Racer. And I remembered that when we were prepping Pulp Fiction.
And you put Eric Stoltz in that t-shirt, right?
Yes. And I said to Quentin, I said, we should use a Speed Racer t-shirt on this guy. And he said, I have one in my closet or in my cupboard or whatever. And he's got the t-shirt.
I love that, Betsy, because I feel like part of Quentin's language are these graphic t-shirts. My experience with him, he had a lot of graphic t-shirt ideas.
One of the things I love about him is that he has the same respect for the graphic t-shirt that I do. It has to mean something. Just off topic, like Jerry Maguire, when he's writing his mission statement, I figured he went to Notre Dame College, and I called the student union and said, where do you guys all hang out? What's the bar? What do you like? Where do you go? And I found the little bar, and I got the t-shirt from the bar, and that's the t-shirt he's wearing when he writes his mission statement, his college t-shirt, when he was full of ideals and full of how he was going to change the world. So every t-shirt for me has meaning.
I have a connection to Vincent's t-shirt, the UCSC Banana Slugs t-shirt, because I grew up in Santa Cruz. So can you tell us a little bit about that, how that came to be?
Quentin requested the UC Santa Cruz t-shirt. So I think that Jimmy, his character, had some relationship with Santa Cruz. I thought about the character and I thought, yeah, this guy, he lays around the pool. His wife works nights. I don't know much of what he's doing. So he just opens a drawer and give these guys what he's got in the drawer. And Quentin liked that idea. I remember the conversation most vividly about Bruce Willis's costume. I said, I think it should be a leather jacket. He said, yes, I want a leather jacket like Nick Nolte and Who Will Stop the Rain. Bruce put it on and he said, well, are you going to drag it behind a truck?
Oh, don't age it.
Yeah. And I said, with you in it. And that was it. It was all good.
Witty repartee. I love it. We always think about Mia, Jules, and Vincent in the movie, but there's so many wonderful characters, whether it's Christopher Walken or Harvey Keitel or Amanda Plummer, Kathy Griffin. Even I never noticed her before. She had a little cameo. I love seeing her. It's hard to cite other contemporary films at the time that had such a lasting impact.
It's a magic thing that happens for me. I'm only as good as my director. I'm inspired by my director. I get all my ideas from the energy that's coming out of my director. And Quentin was on fire. He was on fire with these two movies, and they were original and they were different from anything I ever read. And I'm so thrilled to have had the great good fortune to collaborate with him on these two films. he was very inspirational to me, and I think that's reflected in the work that I did.